Main job is being a therapist for adolescents and their families. So my primary clients are adolescents aged 10 to 17, and then I also do family therapy for them. So I actually work 4 10-hour days, so then I have 3-day weekends, which is a very nice setup. So some creative content that I'm involved in is mostly doing improv. We're starting to do some sketch, but I've been doing improv for a while now. That's our main MO. So we do, Wednesday nights is our rehearsal time, and then on Thursday I'm taking classes as well, and then we try and get a show in at about once a week, which is really fun. I'm on a team called Chunky Puppies, and so we are very close. We've been together for a little over a year. There's 6 of us right now, maybe adding 2 more, which is still a little bit to be decided, but yeah, it's a very, very fun time for me. Something that motivates me for mostly my improv life, my love for comedy, is definitely the fact that I have a personality that is a little bit more outgoing and a little bit weird and things like that. And so when I was growing up, I had a really hard time with that because, so I grew up in the Dominican Republic, and tall white women who are extremely outgoing people didn't really know what to do with me. And so I felt like I couldn't really be myself, and if I was being myself, it wasn't fully accepted, and it was like this weird inner battle I had of, I love jokes, I love making people feel comfortable. I didn't know how to be productive in that, I didn't know how to be useful in that, and so the time that I was living in the DR, I felt really lonely because I didn't feel like anyone really understood me. And so when I went to college, I joined an improv team, and there was an immediate shift in the way that I viewed how my personality impacts people around me. And so I found this space that loved the fact that I was outgoing and loved the fact that I was a little bit weird and things like that. And so I felt like I could really commit to who I actually was. And so I grew up a lot in that time, especially the first year that I was doing improv, because I felt like I could actually be myself, which was new for me. And it really changed the way that I saw kind of how women impact their surrounding areas. And so I feel like a lot of women are kind of stifled and feel limited in who they can be because they tend to be misunderstood or things like that. And so because I was able to find this place that I could be super goofy and super weird and super silly, but I could also be a leader, and I could also be serious and push things forward and challenge the status quo and things like that. And so continuing to do improv, I've learned a lot of improv skills that translate into daily life, and I really appreciate that part of it. And so a big reason I'm still so involved in improv is I want to get good enough so that I can teach it to adolescents and combine social work and improv together, because there's so many things that overlap. The best way to be creative in a space that doesn't always allow creativity. And so improv has kind of pushed my brain to trust my gut instinct, trust the weirdness that kind of comes out, and believe that something is going to come from that. And the more of a regular life that I live, and the more, I have an income and now I'm insured and things like that, the normal, boring things as an adult, to be able to have a space that I can be as weird as I want, and my brain is kind of being molded to really trust that gut instinct, it translates into my normal life. So in therapy, for example, if I ever get stuck with a client, I bring it back to the relationship and I listen to my gut, which is exactly what you do in improv. And so those skills are overlapping in everything that I'm doing. I'm better at relating to people. I'm better at looking for inconsistencies in someone's words or their life or things like that. I don't get anxious. Things like that really kind of push me to trust what kind of is happening inside, which I think a lot of people have a hard time with. And not saying that I'm perfect at it. Of course, there's times that I'm like, oh, this is horrible, or I'm second guessing or whatever. But for the most part, as long as you're comfortable with screwing up and looking like an idiot, then you will be successful.